Since you're going to be making a lot of stored procedures, and when you create a database, it's a good idea to create a template, especially once you've seen that there's lots of extra features that get added to a stored procedure. So here's a template I kind of like. You have the create procedure, come up with some kind of name. I usually like to use P to indicate it's a procedure. If it's a select, an insert, update, delete, I usually use a 3-letter abbreviation and then the name of the table I'm working with. Or if I'm doing a join, maybe a name of the tables. Then I put my list of parameters. You know, the parentheses are optional, but I like to use them. And using a default value is optional, but I also often like to use that as well. Now, following that, I go ahead and put a header in my stored procedure. Right after the parameters and before the as keyword, and I indicate who actually made the stored procedure, a brief description about what it looks like it processes, inserts, updates, or deletes, and then a changelog. Now you can actually put a bunch of things in here, but the changelog I think is very important. It indicates when something happened, who actually made a change, and what the change was. At a minimum, you should put in your name, the date, and then that you create the stored procedure. And then if you add things to the stored procedure, if you modify it over time, you go ahead and list that. You list those changes over time. I think you'll find that this is a real good use of your time when you create your stored procedures. And it has proven to me over and over again that this really helps out when you're working in a production environment and you're trying to make a professional level code. Now, quite often I have transaction code. So if I do, I go ahead and put my transaction code here between begin transaction and commit transaction. And then we already saw the rollback transaction, and then I print the error message, and of course I have my return codes. Now you can mix this up a little bit, but once you have it all set up, you want to go ahead and use it. Like I'll put some testing code in here, and I'll take that, and I'll say, okay, I want to do a delete store procedure. So I start making the changes. I'd say p delete customers, and all we need is the customer ID. And I don't think I need a default value for that one. Let's see, description, that's my name. And let's see, processes deletes for the customers table. And then my name here. And the date. Oops, now what did I do? And the date, let's see, today is the 9th, I think. 8 and 9. Okay, that's the start. And then my transaction code is delete from customers where the customer ID is equal to @customer ID. And that's it. So I can go ahead and create that stored procedure, just as simple as that. Oh, because I already made it. Alter. And I can simply test it by just going through and putting in the name of my stored procedure. And then trying it out, see if it works. Customer ID, oops. And there we go. So for each of these, I'd go ahead and set that up. If I like my template enough, I can actually go ahead and save it over in Template Explorer. So let's see, where'd you go, Template Explorer? So just find a spot for it. Microsoft already has some here for stored procedures. Let's see. but I want to add my own. So I'll make a new template, and then I edit it and paste that code in. And of course, if I make changes to it later, I can always come back and edit it again. But once that's made like that, I can just drag and drop it, and then it'll get me started. So, it looks like a lot of code to type in. It's true, it is. But once you do it and you have it saved, it doesn't take very long to go ahead and use that code. So definitely make stored procedure templates when you start making transactional stored procedures. Microsoft has some too. Like if I come over here to the Northwind database and I say right click and say new stored procedure, it'll type out a template. I don't like theirs as much as mine, but that makes sense to most people. They put their header here before the stored procedure. The reason why I don't like that is because then it's not saved in the database. So if you make the header inside the stored procedure, when you create the stored procedure, it'll be saved in the database. So if I use SP help text, and I pull down the stored procedure, I'll see that header information, and that includes the changelog, what has changed over time. If I do it the way that Microsoft has it set up, I won't see that. But it's still nice to have options. Nice to have options. So that's it. Those are the basics about how you create stored procedures and use them. And we will look in the next module at some more advanced topics on stored procedures and some more advanced stored procedures. But this should get you going this week. The homework assignment, of course, is going through and doing making code very similar to what we just talked about. So you can always come back and review these videos as you go through it. I think you'll find it challenging, but certainly doable. Good luck with that, and thanks for watching the videos.